Hello, everyone, and welcome to Detour B4 the Storm. I am your host, Chris Cortez, and this is a podcast video that I'm going to be recording mainly to, one, test my new mic on this Audio Technica headset that I, of course, recently purchased. It sounds clear enough to me. When my last video I posted, it just wasn't loud enough. It's not quite loud enough, and I've turned up the settings on my computer. The microphone is now a little bit closer where it needs to be. And I want to make sure that it works. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to, I'll return it if I have to. Otherwise, I like this headset because it's perfect for what could be gaming and as well as a startup set for my podcasts, as well as, just getting ready to do things that like this, like creating content. I'm trying to take this next level. However, I don't want to get headsets and a microphone, and that will that'll rack up. My costs will go up, skyrocket immediately. I'm trying to kind of get to the next level. I will eventually get a standing mic. Of course I will. And I'll keep the headphones, though. The headphones are beast. Now, this is a test, to check that, as well as to go over a question that I went over in my podcast. How did I get interested in New Japan Pro Wrestling? How did I just go head deep into it, okay? And when did it happen? How did it happen? What kind of led to me wanting to do podcasts for New Japan specifically? Of all things, New Japan, G1 Climax, Wrestle Kingdom, okay? It started back in 2015, going in, let's say 2015, after I'd graduated from earning my master's at GW in English literature. That was my focus. I was teaching, I was adjuncting as a professor for multiple schools, and was still kind of looking for a job, still trying to get my salary, my base, my real career salary with my insurance. So I was kind of doing the adjunct work. I was also tutoring, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, because I was like, there's no way I can pay my student loans, pay my own rent, pay everything, get everything paid for, and do this. I need a job. Okay, so I'm hunting for a job, going to the career center, and I'm kind of down on my luck, because I'm just well, I've done everything I can do. What am I supposed to do? So I had some time to kind of reassess. And I was, at that point, I was very much into WWE. More so probably than I had been since the time I was wrestling in wrestling school, and had tried, my shot at being a worker. And after that, I kind of dipped, but came back up. At this point, I was peaking for WWE, but I was also very critical of it. I was watching podcasts. This is when I started watching podcasts. Around the time I was starting to really focus in on certain podcasts that I'd watched. JD from New York, Solo Monster, those two in particular, Joe Cronin, and I was always looking for something new at that point, just trying to reach out. So I spotted Ring of Honor was being televised weekly on Saturday, so I would just record on the DVR, and I was like, okay, let's just get into this. It's not like I didn't know about Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling. I knew that about this stuff since Impact had started. I was not a fan. We'll talk about that another time, but there were things about it that we'll get there. Don't get me wrong. I liked certain things, but this is way back. So moving on forward to Ring of Honor, and I see AJ Styles is in Ring of Honor, and he's got this whole new look. He's got a whole new persona, whole new look for how he was in TNA, and I loved it. I was like, this is something else. He's come, and they kept mentioning he's coming back from New Japan. I was like, and when I even knew about New Japan from back in the WCW days, I was like, oh, what's going on in Japan? And all these wrestlers that were coming in from New Japan. And I was like, hearing more and more once again, a rebirth, a more focus. And you're not going to get it from WWE. You got it from WCW, and then you get it from the indie promotions. So once WCW left, you stopped hearing about it so much. So you might hear oh, this guy came from it just came from Excursion Japan, maybe a little bit here and there. They brought in Tensai, and that was about it. That being said, Kenny Omega. Okay, this is where I saw Bullet Club and AJ Styles, and I was just like, this guy is awesome. He's looking better than ever. And I was like, when he showed up to WWE, I was like, yeah, he's ready. He's totally ready. Because his true growth, You know, not his skills, not his in-ring, but he was always incredible. You know, I watch him on TNA and I'm like, God, he's so incredible, but there's something missing. What he was missing, he got it in New Japan. So when he came back to the States and Ring of Honor, he got it in New Japan. Whatever happened in New Japan, he came back a badass, is what happened to AJ Styles. And because I saw everything, you know, with him and you know, the Aces and Eights. I was watching it. I thought it was pretty funny and cool to watch. And AJ was like this like dark like savior, kind of like the Stinger. I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it. I'd see him in the ring and I'd be like, yeah, he's the man. Like, he's the best. But there's something missing. He came back to New Japan charged. Okay, came to WWE with the same like, that's why he rocks the Japanese. He's never gonna let that go. He's probably cherished, okay, his time in New Japan like no other. Okay, as he should. Okay, so I'd see him there a little bit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching Ring of Honor, and I'm also like, I'm thinking about, I've got Jay Lethal, badass by the way. When he was in, one thing about him I missed is his ring entrance. Bring his damn ring entrance back. Okay, that music, the Scorched Ops. Yeah, I know the name of the theme song because I listen to it sometimes in the car. I want to get hyped. Scorched Ops, Jay Lethal. That song, he's a main eventer if he wants to be. He's at least a high, or low main eventer, high mid card. This guy needs a real run and give him his music back. Okay, so I was watching him. I'm loving Truth Martini. God, love it. Okay, loving it. The Briscoes, incredible. Jay Briscoe, he was, I was watching a lot of his time as he was heavyweight champion at Ring of Honor. And then this guy just out of nowhere comes in with a broomstick. He's sweeping. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Kenny Omega. Okay, Kenny Omega. He's got his tights were like just straight out of the 80s. Like, we're talking freaking Ravishing Rick Rude type pants. Brian Pillman, just thoughts. All these like guys just started coming up to my head, like Brian Pillman, Ravishing Rick Rude, and then even looking like in the future, I started thinking like, oh man, he's even built like Tanahashi, but he's a Westerner. So, and and then I was just watching little videos on him. He's speaking Japanese. This Westerner speaking Japanese. He looks like Brian Pillman. He works better than anybody I've ever seen next to AJ Styles. As far as and obviously there are many other wrestlers, but he was as good as anybody else, and he was funny as shit, and he was just kind of like, and his name is Kenny Omega. I was like, man, I gotta see this guy. Is very appealing to me. So sure enough, I come to find that he is going to be wrestling Kazuchika Okada. Okay, Wrestle Kingdom. This was I believe 2017. All right. So I watched so January 2017, very beginning. So at this point I was sold. I was like, okay, I got to get New Japan. I got to get Wrestle Kingdom. And that's when New Japan World started. And I was like, wow, like $10 and you can get all their content? Hell yeah. And their pay-per-views? Sign me up. It wasn't even $10. It was like $8. It's 999 yen. 999 yen, which is just less than $10, like $8. So I was like, all this content I can revisit and I can watch Wrestle Kingdom. I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, got more bang for my buck. Got to see all the wrestlers like Shinsuke and Nakamura, who again at 2016 he had showed up to NXT, and I was like, this guy is the biggest badass in the world. Okay. It pains me to say that, WWE really fucked up his career because, I mean, well, unless he was not willing to like go the whole route, like as WWE champion and really take the reins, he just kind of wanted to, pace himself and just earn some good money, which is fine. This guy should have won WrestleMania. This guy should have won the WWE title a long time ago. Okay. He was so freaking white hot and they let it go. So Shinsuke Nakamura was another one, again, from New Japan. So I was like, damn, the content, New Japan World, the guys that came through. You got Finn Balor, another one. I'm at this point, I'm also watching NXT between 2016, 2017, and a little bit like it was started with Ring of Honor and then into NXT. And I'm watching both of these promotions. I'm building it up to watch New Japan to really like sign up for New Japan World in 2017. So I signed up, okay, and it was the best experience I had seen, best wrestling performance card, event that I have ever, premiere show that I've ever seen in a long, long time. And there were so many reviews on it. Dave Meltzer, all these people were reviewing it. Okada, Omega, superstar match, 5-star, 6-star match, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it was that. And but there were so many other things beyond Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. Tetsuya Naito, when he came out and he's literally just carrying around, dragging the Intercontinental title like it's nothing, throws it into the ring, and so nonchalant. He's got a whole suit on, full piece. He's got his mask. The music's blasting. People are going crazy, and nothing phases him. I was like, that is a star, okay? He is a star because he knows nothing can faze him. Nothing. He is not starstruck by shit because he is the star. I was like, that is what is missing. So New Japan kind of filled that hole. I was like, that's what we need in pro wrestling. So it's no wonder why AEW is now so connected to New Japan, and a lot of the things that they do are so based on fundamental New Japan stuff. And we know this. So yeah, I was sold. I was just ready to watch. I didn't watch all the time, but I tried to get in because I'm watching WWE and then really getting into NXT. I'm seeing guys coming in from NXT. And that is essentially how I got into it. I would remember watching some key G1 Climax, some G1 Climax matches and thinking, wow, I could really cover this. And just kind of like, it's a lot, but it'd be kind of cool to really be engaged in the show and for what everything's going on, and cover all the records and all the things that make this show so great. After getting, through with a lot of things that I had to do, like financially, personally, as far as my condo, I had, work, just a lot of things that I didn't have time to do. This is my first summer, as I was kind of, getting a little bit more subtle, settled into my career and settled in my personal life, getting married, all that stuff. I was like, wow, I see the opportunity. I see the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. So now is the time I'm recording. Now I've started. So, and here we are. And that's the show. That's essentially what I wanted to talk about. That's how I got into New Japan Pro Wrestling. And now I'm in it more than ever. And I'm, one more thing. I'm going to go to New Japan. I'm going to be hitting up the Super Junior Fest in Philadelphia. I'm going to do a live recordings, stream as we're going in and out, hanging out in Philadelphia, and just do take a lot of pictures, and I'll do a little post review, and yeah, we're going to cover a lot of content on that. I cannot wait for Super Junior Festival, August 19th in Philadelphia. And guys, I just opened a new Twitter account, a new Instagram account. Please, join my Instagram. That's Chris's Chaos. At channel Cortez 33. Okay. You can, my email, you can always reach me at Chris's Chaos 33 at gmail.com. So you can get me at Twitter. Let me go ahead and just, I probably have to pull that stuff up in a little bit, but you can get me on Twitter now. You can get me on Instagram. Okay. On that note, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button, and please check out some of my previous videos. I just covered Night 8, and it was fantastic. The volume was a little low. You can hear it just fine with headphones and turning it up your phone and in the car. You'll be able to hear it fine. It's just like bare naked cell phone. It's not as clear. That's the only thing that's kind of frustrating me. So I think I hopefully with this recording it sounds better, a little bit louder, and that's all I wanted to do. Okay. On that note, if you have any comments, please reach out to me, and you have a great weekend. Bye.